Hi, we're Warren and Brenda Foll, and we are the co-founders of Davids Refuge, which is a bed and breakfast respite for moms and dads who have kids with special needs or whose child may be struggling with a fatal disease. We started Davids Refuge in honor of our son, David. Our desire was to start a nonprofit where we could come alongside moms and dads who as well were raising children with special needs and to pour life into them. And so really what's important is knowing a little bit about David.
David was the middle of our three boys, and he was born in 1988. He was completely developing normally, and we had no idea anything was ever going to be wrong with him. When he was 8 years old, he started to have some symptoms that made us wonder if he was seeing okay. So we just thought he had an eye problem, took him to the eye doctor, and discovered he had macular dystrophy. He had lost his central vision. And after about 2 years of living with the loss of his vision, we needed a more firm diagnosis. So we went down to Johns Hopkins.
And it was there that we discovered that David had a disease called Batten's disease, which is a storage disease. It's a recessive genetic disease where he lacked an enzyme that would go into his neuronal cells and pull out the byproduct of cell activity. And unfortunately, without that enzyme, kind of in layman terms, his brain filled up. It filled in his retina, robbed him of his vision, and then over the next 13 years, took his life because it filled in his brain. As you can imagine, for any parent losing a child, it's probably one of the most horrible things to experience. And for the next 2 years, we wrestled with that, we grieved, and we healed. And throughout that whole time, though, we were asking ourselves, what do we do with those experiences? We came up with this idea of creating a refuge for moms and dads who are still on the journey, who are caring for their children, pouring themselves into their kids, full-time caregivers, and we could come alongside them and give them a break. Our desire was to be able to give them an opportunity to unplug from their role as a caretaker, a caregiver, so that they could refresh themselves and revive themselves and be the best moms and dads that they can be. And by giving them a chance to unplug from their normal life and finding good care for their children, they can unplug, come to David's Refuge, and realize how important it is just to care for themselves. And when they do that, I think they leave refreshed and restored and ready to just keep loving on their children. So when they come, what they do is they get 2 nights in a B&B at no cost to themselves. We send them out on a date with $50. We provide them with a spa service such as a massage or a pedicure and a manicure. And our desire is that when our guests come and they stay, that they would leave knowing 3 things: that they're not alone, that what they do in caring for their child is the most important thing in the world, and that God loves them. And we do that because we believe that God loved us with extravagance. And so when you come to David's Refuge, we're going to love on you with extravagance. There's going to be chocolates by your bed. There's going to be a gift basket. And we just want to pour hope and life into parents so that they can go back to care for their children. We want to thank you so much for taking the time just to listen to our story and to hear about how you could actually help other families who have children with special needs simply by telling them about David's Refuge. Send them to davidsrefuge.org and they can get all the information that they need. And when you talk to your friends, remind them that they're not alone, that what they do matters, and that God loves them.